previous winners here at Pocono, and some pretty impressive names on that list. You know, when you just look at the drivers that were in the field a year ago, not just Kyle Busch, who won the race, but Kevin Harvick was in that race. Brad Keselowski was in the race a year ago. Austin Dillon. None of those drivers are in this year's race. In fact, none of the Cup drivers. So it's a real opportunity for some of these guys to get their win.
Brad Keselowski wasn't in it long.
5 laps, I think. Yeah. Let's check in downstairs with Hermie.
Well, Vince got Timothy Peters standing by. And this team, once again today, like the theme, you unload and you're fast every single week. Now the question is, what can you guys do to have a little lady luck on your side and get the finishes you deserve?
Hopefully that's tomorrow in the Pocono Mountain 150 with our Red Horse team. These guys are doing great. We've been consistent all year long. The guys back at the shop have been working really hard. All of us are thirsty for that win, Hermie. So we know getting that win is going to take some of the weight of the world off our shoulders, but we still need to continue with good finishes to make sure that we're seated properly. So Triad horsepower and Toyota Tundra is pretty good. So hopefully I'll do my part and get us a win tomorrow.
As Timothy Peters making a few fine-tune adjustments on the 17 before he heads back on the racetrack. Caitlin?
Well, Hermie, another truck making some adjustments is the 8 team of John Hunter Nemechek, currently P5 on the leaderboard. John, what have you been experiencing in your truck, and what changes are you guys making to it?
I'm a little bit on the tight side right now. Pocono's a fun place. It's tricky triangle. So we had a little bit of a tire up there. We came in to fix it, make a few adjustments. We only have one set today for 2 practices, so we're going to buy our time here in the first practice and focus on the second one.
Well, thanks for your time. John Hunter already has a win so far this season, but would love another one this weekend, Vince.
Great point with John Hunter making that they have one set for the 2 practice sessions today, exacerbated by the fact that this is a new tire. So you'd like to have more to get your hands around that tire and maybe some of the characteristics that it has, but just one set, you better make the most of every lap.
Yeah, you really do. Unfortunately, these tires aren't falling off that much. We've seen a little bit of give up here on these tires, but it's not like you can't tell what your truck's doing. So, but I think John Hunter and his team are smart as we look at his finishes this season to use their time wisely.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to it. We heard Matt Crafton make a half a lap earlier and come in and make adjustments. When you have the experience and the knowledge to win on these big tracks, it doesn't take you long, Vince, to figure out what you need. You know you don't have what you want, and you need to make some changes so these guys make them quickly and the tires aren't falling off. So I think they're in a pretty good spot.
And with the tires not falling off much, that plays into some different strategy thoughts that these crew chiefs might have in relation to tomorrow.
Well, that's going to be a big story here. It takes so long to get around this racetrack. Our fast lap right now was just under 54 seconds. So just like we saw Indy over the weekend, these guys are going to make a lot of green flag pit stops and run this race like a road course. And we'll talk more about that throughout the weekend.
A little under 50 minutes remaining in this first practice as we look at Brett Moffitt in the 11 truck. Will be his second start this season. Finished 31st at Kentucky. Boy, they were having a good run going. In fact, qualified second at Kentucky, that had engine failure, derailed them for the day. This has been a tough situation for this team. They've had multiple drivers. Ben Kennedy was in this 11 truck for 3 races at the start. Matt Tifft for a couple of races. Of course, we know the medical situation that Tifft dealing with, had a brain tumor, had to have surgery. Armand Quiroga's been in it. Of course, Brett Moffitt, Jake Griffin, our most recent race at Eldora. So challenging for crew chief Scott Zipadelli to have different drivers in the truck almost every week.
Yeah, we talk about the different variables, the different tires, and obviously the different racetracks are variables, but then you throw that added into there, the fact that you're going to have a different driver every week, and or maybe not every week, but certainly a lot of different drivers, and that makes it a lot harder for somebody like Scott Zipadelli to try to get a rhythm and get a feel for his driver.
And just think about the bump in his step right now, though. They were really fast at Kentucky, qualified up on the front row, and then had a great run at Eldora. So the team knows they've got the equipment, the communication, everything they need to go out and run up front with this truck, and they've been doing it lately.
5 different drivers in the 11 races for this 11 truck. Red Horse. There's Brett Moffitt and that engine letting go at Kentucky.
What a huge surprise, so early on here. We just don't see that kind of thing happen nowadays. These engine builders are so good that we see very few failures, and that was an odd for sure.
Moffitt with a lot of experience. Had a couple of Cup starts here at Pocono. 38 career Cup starts. 2 here at Pocono, and hopes to get a win here tomorrow. What a lift that would be, not only for Brett Moffitt, but also for this entire Red Horse organization. You heard Timothy Peters talking about how he is in the chase currently on points, but what a lift it would be to get that victory. Everybody seeking the win at Pocono, including that young man on the left, Rico Abreu. Ben Rhodes would take it too.